Hello, everyone. So, today I'll be talking about release control of your growth in 2022. People have set routines that they try to improve with. For example, a new exercise routine at the beginning of the year. This is great, but we are still trying to control our situation. 2022 is all about, can you grow outside of your comfort zone by releasing your identity of who you think you are? Can you be okay in your own body? Can you be comfortable in your own skin? If everything is taken away from you and you don't have access to your routine and you don't have access to your different habits that you've developed along the way, can you really be at peace then? True growth happens by surrendering our control. It doesn't happen by saying, I'm going to grow my way within these four walls and I'll push these walls when I am comfortable. So you are growing in a controlled environment here. In 2022, the higher self and the universe is going to put a lot of pressure on you. This is so that you look at yourself. The pressure is to say, there are things I know I've needed to heal. There are things that I know I have been controlling, but I have been putting it off. Now the universe is saying, we are not going to leave you alone because we finally have your attention and we are your friend and your family. Your higher self is your best friend. It's a higher version of you that wants the best for you, that wants you to move into the highest version of what you are, so that you can have an exceptional life. A few months ago, we still had wiggle room. We still had time to kill. We could address a lesson here and there and then put it back on the shelf. Now all of that is being pushed to the surface to be seen. It's going to feel like you are being pressurized and not in a good way. The higher self is saying, when you have energy, you think you are untouchable, but now your body and mind may be weak over this pandemic period, so you are not relinquishing the old ways. When we feel sick or we've gone through a breakup, and we're grieving, we don't have energy. The higher self is of a higher energy and will swoop in and say, now that I have your attention, you are going to listen and it's not going to feel good. You are going to feel under pressure. You might say, this is not love, but the truth is, if the higher self's job is to help you save your soul, and it finally has your attention, why wouldn't it push you in a positive way? Why wouldn't it spur you and encourage you to transform? If we are stubborn as humans and we are always blocking out the light, we are always blocking out this intelligence. Then there's a moment when our window opens or a door cracks open. The light is going to shine in and say, it's now or never. You have to shit or get off the pot. These are things you've known, you've had to tackle and address, and you put it off for years. Some of us are good at doing the legwork and healing some of our karma, but how often do we go all the way with it? How often do we truly drop the sword and say, I am done fighting life and my own demons. I am done holding on to this control. I am ready to flourish. I am ready to blossom into the highest version of who I am. It can be challenging to do that because we are surrounded by humans who are living in fear. We are surrounded by a society that has so much shame that they would never talk about this stuff openly. So if everyone is walking around with fear, a lot of times we have this subconscious reaction that we are still going to fight life. We are still going to be in survival mode. So why would we change? The world is so hard. We have to be soldiered up. We have to be armored up. But we are being asked right now to drop the sword. We are being asked to not depend on the gym to feel strong, not depend on jogging to release stress, not to depend on any of that to feel like a soldier, but rather solely depend on our soul. Because if we are depending on these things out of us to feel strong, to feel like we can take on the world, then we are still pulling from the external world. We are still trying to generate energy through habits and routines, which is still a reaction. It's still a wrestling with the world. But if we are able to generate energy through freedom, not being defined by anything outside of us, then we truly become these spiritual beings encased in these human bodies. We become spiritual beings. We are not the ego who lets in a little bit of spirit sometimes. We are no longer the personality or the identity that lets in spirit when we feel like it. We become spirit in the body. We are not blocking spirit as the ego. We become spirit in the body. Our karma is what is standing between you and your highest version, which is also associated with your control. Our karma creates a time lag with instant manifestation. So our karma causes every manifestation to be delayed. Imagine waking up in the morning and being able to do what you want, instead of being velcroed to something. You are not tethered to anything. What we say is, before I can have a cup of tea or see a friend or go for a walk, I need to do a few things. If we were 100% karma free, we would be karma free. You'd be asking yourself in the morning, what do I feel like doing today? You wouldn't be thinking of a routine or anything you're trying to control in order to feel good. Freedom is the ultimate strength. Your ego says, before you can see your friend or go for a walk, you have to work or pay a bill or go for a jog. So what you want to do is delayed. That morning, a part of you is saying, give me my manifestation. Give me my cup of tea and my friend now. We say, no, you're not worthy of that manifestation right now. You can't have that right now because first I need to go and do this. Then we wonder why we're not able to manifest on command. We wonder why the universe does not provide us with everything we want here and now. That's happening because the universe is going to treat you like you treat yourself. Your inner child wanted to see a friend or go for a walk, and what you said was no, when you had a chance to give it instantaneously. You bypassed an opportunity to manifest because your routine had you enslaved. That karma stood in the way of instant manifestation. If you gave your inner child what it wants, the universe would treat you the same. We are treated the way we treat others. Everything is vibrational and reciprocity. If you want to be treated a certain way by the universe, you have to start treating yourself that way. That's not going to be easy. The ego won't like it. For instance, you may say to yourself, I won't be sexy anymore. It's all artificial and keeps you in bondage to this physical, carnal world. It doesn't liberate your soul. This is divine intervention. A lot of these things look good on paper or when seeing them from the outside looking in. But is the soul free or is the soul in a cage? The person who has less control of their life will see you as having control of your life when there are aspects of control you are still holding on to. Any percentage of control means you are not free yet. We are not free until our karma is fully cleared. The universe is not in a hurry, but there is going to be an element of pressure because most of us don't like to listen. So if the universe grabs hold of your attention, it is going to shake you. So you may feel some pressure. Although in the bigger picture, the universe is not in a hurry. There's a certain pressure being applied right now. We recognize something we need to change at times and we forget about it and say we'll do it some other time because we are so good at being stubborn. We are so good at being in denial and avoiding what needs to be addressed. The pressure you may be feeling is to save your soul. It's like when you try to help someone who may have had an addiction and they decide to listen to you and make the most of their life. You will flood them with love as it's not easy for them to tackle their addiction. Most of us heal in bits because it's scary, and most humans around us are walking drenched in fear. It is normal to take our time with healing. You may back off if something becomes uncomfortable for you to look at, and you may think you are not ready. When you are healing, you can make some progress and then you get scared and regress to your old habits. When you try to control the situation, you are robbing yourself of the whole experience. Every time you try to control something, you block out spirit. Soul liberation is not partial, it takes place as a whole. You're no longer being handcuffed to anything and delaying your joy. We are trying to manifest bliss. We delay this peace by controlling our lives and thinking we have to earn our freedom, rather than seeing that it is available for us now. So don't procrastinate. If you give a delay to your inner child saying, I'll do that later, you're delaying your joy. And that's what the universe will give you as well. When you don't release attachments, then you are just ego bringing in information from spirit and not walking your talk. And then you die, and then you take karma into your next life. So when people praise you, you don't heal what's inside, when that's how healing begins. It's time to do things that our ego does not like. Don't let others dictate your experience. You cannot conform to a prison of the mind. Let go and shine your light. You heal others by being an example and free.